YouTube! I can't lie to y'all boys. DYNs are getting creative, man.
20 scans in 20 minutes.
20 scans in 20 minutes. Let's get straight to it, nigga.
Scam number 11, ripping. Risk level for this scam is actually just stupid. You won't go to jail because you're scamming scammers. Disclaimer, I don't condone scamming. Do not scam. I only share this information to take those of you who like scamming and point you towards legal money. Cash per day anywhere from a few hundred to literally 100,000. How does this work? Let's say you're an aspiring scammer. You find a clearly more experienced scammer.
Hey, Chad, if this video gets you some money, sub up, nigga.
He's in a Telegram chat. Maybe he's your favorite scam rapper. He offers you a method that seemingly requires no skill, no previous knowledge. And because you trust him, you don't know anyone else who's willing to help. And the method seems easy and you want money bad, you send the money. Boom, you were the method. Obviously it didn't work. An example was Cash App glitch. What does that even mean? Where's the money coming from? It's not loading a Cash App with bank logs. It's not getting access to a Cash App that already has information. And it's just, here's free money, bro. Stupidity.
This the sell of the fake methods. Hey, if you get caught with this on your debit shit.
The fall for this scam, extremely high. Like, damn. Punchmade Dev is literally doing this right now. TJX6, his predecessor, was doing this his whole career. Like, why would you send money to a person who raps about being proud they scam old ladies? I would never take anything from someone who had less than me. Only an aggressively inexperienced scammer would ever fall because a real scammer knows what a real method looks like. Also, a lot of people in scammer chats will offer to swipe things for you. Don't know how to swipe? It's fine. Just pay me $50. I'll buy the card. And instead of sending the multi-$1,000 laptop to myself, I'll actually send it to you for a small fee of $100 on top. Stupid. If you think that one was crazy, wait for scam 13. Scam number 12. Dumps. Risk of jail is very high. Cash per day on this starts at 1,000, goes up to 50 to 60, and almost anyone can fall for this because how many people that you give your card to do you actually trust? Waiters, vending machines, dry cleaners, the drive-thru at fast food. So how it works is this: you have to get your information, usually off a mag strip, write it to a new card, do whatever they want to make that new card look more believable, and go swipe with the new card in person. Like I told you, a lot of swipers will buy a vending machine just to put a skimmer on top of the vending machine to take your card info when you swipe it. That's why the chip in an Apple Pay purposefully doesn't work. They can also have what's called an any, a worker at McDonald's or a restaurant. But when they swipe your card to charge you for your meal, they also swipe it twice on an MSR X6 reader-writer. That's how TJX6 got his name. So they get the dumps and put them on a new card with an MSR reader-writer. At this point, you have a blank card that you can walk in any store and buy at least $1,000 worth of shit with. But no bank ever issues a blank card. If you walk in somewhere with a blank card, you're walking out in fucking handcuffs. So scammers will print the face of the card, they'll emboss the numbers into the card, which makes them poke up, and they'll have matching IDs with the card. That's why in Swipe Story, TJ said I had a hella fake IDs.
After I print my fake IDs and shit, put it on the floor and scrape it all the ground so it looked like an old ass ID.
Each of those IDs was tied to a different dump with a different name embossed on it. Scam number 13. Title fraud. This is getting good. Your favorite scam rapper ain't never told you about this one. Scammers are literally using this to steal houses. Risk of jail extremely high. They're gonna find who took their fucking house and you're in the house. Cash per day, a fat ass house, a mansion if you want. People do this when they know the owners of big ass mansions are on vacation and they don't have security systems. Imagine you walk up to your house one day after a long hard day of work, you just want to get some rest, but you see all your possessions laid on your porch and your lawn. You go up to the door to try and figure out what's going on. You place in your key. It doesn't work anymore. You were a victim of title fraud. See, the ownership of homes is tracked in a very outdated system. It's essentially like writing your name on a board with dry erase marker. Anyone can come wipe it off and write whatever they want. They do this at what's called the county clerk's office. Usually what happens when someone sells their home is I sell you the home, you give me the money, and we do all of this through an escrow company and a title company that handle all this shit for us. But basically the escrow company is just a glorified money holder and the title company is just a nigga who knows where the whiteboard is. But anybody can walk up to that whiteboard, erase the name, and write whatever they want on there. So you can have someone else's house transferred into your name. Nobody ever checks the whiteboard. Most people don't even know it exists. They just say, oh, the guy in the suit's gonna handle that. Smart. So you go there, you update the county record, and you walk up to someone else's house and tell the locksmith, hey, this is my house. Here's proof it's my house. Change the locks. I'm not making this shit up. This dude, and this dude literally did it. And almost anyone could fall for this. Nobody knows about the title system and how it works. Pay attention. Scam 14, SIM swapping. This is the first real scam I've talked about so far. Risk of jail, actually just medium stupid. Most people who do it don't get caught. And the ones who do are really stupid and flashy about it. Cash per day, 50K on the low end, up to a few hundred on the high end. Yes, a few $100,000 a day. Look how these niggas are living.
Dumping $1,500 bottles of champagne over $50,000.
Oh my God!
Over 18, prepare to do 20 years.
Hey, Chay, you ever seen that picture that got the dice and it say risk and then it flip and it say rich? Sometimes you gotta take that risk, man.
Monkey to do it.
2 days, I'm up 100. What? Chill the fuck out. And it's only medium stupid. Let's see what this play is.
These niggas were living.
Dumping $1,500 bottles of champagne over $50,000.
But if you get caught and you're over 18, prepare to do 20 years. All that other shit you could teach a fucking monkey to do. But this requires a lot of mental finesse and skill. If you apply said finesse to legal endeavors, you'll make it far in life. How does one get SIM swapped? So let's say you have 200,000 in Bitcoin in a crypto wallet. You bought a certain NFT coin before it got really big, and now you're crypto rich. Congratulations, fucker. You have your account set up with two-factor authentication. This means when someone is trying to log into your account, they have to send you a text message first before they let that person into your account, whether it's you or not. But oh, the fucking text system is super stupid and super easy to fool and manipulate. To this day, they made it a little better, but it's still like really easy to SIM swap. That's why I look at people stupid when they see me in a Porsche and think I'm a scammer. Motherfucker, my ass would touch nothing but the finest Rolls Royce leather seats. I'd have 10 Cullinans if I was. So you have your money in your crypto wallet. You go in to check your wallet. I'd have 10 Cullinans. So you have your money in your crypto wallet. You go in to check your wallet to see if everything's okay, and you're logged out of your account. Then you think, okay, let me call my wife. I want to tell her what's going on. You type in her number, put the phone to your ear. The call didn't go through. You look at the top corner of your phone, no SIM. The scammer convinced AT&T or Verizon or T-Mobile that they were you, and you got a new SIM card, and you wanted to transfer the number from your old SIM card to your new SIM card. That's how they got into your account. Because what if you forgot your password? They're just gonna text you a link to log in at the number to update your password. This can also be—
This edited funny as shit, bro. Why the fuck you got this little ass baby? Bro,
AT&T or Verizon or T-Mobile that they were you, and you got a new SIM card, and you wanted to transfer the number from your old SIM card to your new SIM card. That's how they got into your account. Because what if you forgot your password? They're just gonna text you a link to log in at the number to update your password. This can also be used to take over people's Instagram accounts, bank accounts. This is how the one kid hacked into Twitter. He SIM swapped some low-level district manager who had access to Twitter's Slack channel until he had the login credentials of the guy who could literally verify, unverify people, and send tweets from other people's accounts. Just wait for scam 15. I had to hide it later in the video. It was too wild. The next two scams I'm gonna tell you about are kind of legal. Do I do them? Fuck no. Would I recommend you to do them? Fuck no. But they're kind of like jaywalking in the sense that by law you're not supposed to do it, but a lot of people do it all the time and get away with it completely. Scam number 16.
The DoorDash method. Let me find out.
Gun scam. Let's take person A and person B, Arthur and Billy. Arthur, he's a clean-cut guy. He's not gonna shotgun method. He goes and buys a house or goes and buys a car. They pull his credit to qualify him for the loan on the house or car. If Arthur tried to buy another house or car within a week, they'd say, hey, you just got a loan on a house or car. We're not approving that. Billy, on the other hand, is a bit more devious. He knows that Arthur can't buy another house or car in a week because his credit report updated. So Billy is going to apply for 5 cars in one day at 5 different dealerships. Billy knows a mortgage lady inside a mortgage loan office, and he's gonna have her give him 5 different mortgages from 5 different banks. Now this nigga got cribs out the asshole. I don't know why you would want that many cribs.
Oh my God. Watch the fuck out, Billy.
We're not approving that. Billy, on the other hand, is a bit more devious. He knows that Arthur can't buy another house or car in a week because his credit report updated. So Billy is going to apply for 5 cars in one day at 5 different dealerships. Billy knows a mortgage lady.
Imagine they get 5 scats and 5 cribs in the same day. Chill the fuck out.
Mortgage loan office, and he's gonna have her give him 5 different mortgages from 5 different banks. Now this nigga got cribs out the asshole. I don't know why you would want that many cribs, but hey, doing it with houses is definitely illegal, I'm pretty sure. But doing it with cars is something that a lot of Turo fleet operators are known to do. And as long as you pay the money back, the banks don't really care. Even Matthew Cox, the person I learned this method from, was talking about how a bank found out what he did, called him and said, we're gonna report you to the FBI. He said, hold on, I could pay you. They were like, all right, it's good then. Scam 17, CPNs. With CPNs, you go through a long-ass process of creating another social security number that's completely separate from your credit profile. If your credit profile has records that you were a felon, you can get a job now under your CPN. If you owe hella debt and have a super low credit score on your personal credit, your CPN is fresh and brand new. It's like a credit extra life. A lot of rich people and celebrities were known to use these so that people wouldn't be able to have access to their real social security number. Imagine if you were just a nigga at a car dealership and you had John F. Kennedy's social security number now. You could do a lot of damage. There's a whole long-ass process involved in creating them. I explain in the credit code on rjack.net for strictly educational purposes, because believe it or not, a lot of the steps that you need for a CPN, you also need for great personal credit. But if you ever got cancer and said, hey, fuck it, I want 5 Bentleys, a CPN sauce gonna do it for you. You ain't gonna be here to do the time anyway, fuck nigga. Don't do it though, just don't. Wake up. Now, these next 3 scams I'm going to tell you about are mostly legal. There's no laws against them. So it's not even like jaywalking. This is like walking on a sidewalk, but they're morally wrong. So it's like walking on the sidewalk, stepping on top of homeless people. The thing all 3 of these scams have in common, though, is they're designed to completely take control of someone's mind and use emotional manipulation to such a high extent that they make seemingly normal people take insanely stupid actions and send everything they own to scammers. First is the 419/wash scams. This is the Nigerian prince scam. Yes, people are falling for the Nigerian prince scam today in 2023. They get the person hooked and get the person thinking that they're about to get an inheritance from a Nigerian prince. This works really well on the types of people that play the lottery, the types of people that feel like life is just gonna drop millions of dollars into their lap. They pray for luck instead of praying for knowledge and the discipline to execute it. It literally worked on a doctor. This motherfucker who has a genius level IQ sent $60,000 to some motherfuckers who probably don't even have running water.
At this point in this experience, I had already given these people $60,000 for very close.
Because their emotional intelligence and manipulative ability, also known as finesse, was way higher than his. They take a lot of steps like ratcheting up slowly.
It take some finesse.
Didn't ask him for $60,000 the first day, and they probably even gave him a little bit of money invested for a payoff. They also had him fly around and move from place to place. This makes it feel more legitimate, makes you feel like you're on a mission. They purposefully make the business opportunity sound extra stupid and leave in a lot of misspelled words so that the only people who will respond to the email in the first place are people who are easy to manipulate. But it gets worse. Ever heard of OnlyFans? Ever heard of the Tinder swindler? Scam number 19. This is the romance scam. You gotta be kind of fucking stupid to believe a Nigerian prince is gonna send you millions, but almost anyone will believe that someone who's way out of their league wants to date them. When a mid girl gets hit up by a multi-millionaire that's on private jets, of course she would do anything to keep that opportunity, including emptying her whole bank account. When an ugly dude who gets no girls and pays for his favorite Instagram thoughts OnlyFans gets a message from her that seems like she cares about him and eventually would become his girlfriend and maybe even fuck him in person, he would spend his entire bank account chasing that dream. The Tate brothers talked about doing this, how they would ask for money for a flight and say the flight got canceled, how they would ask for money for this and that, and eventually he sent so much money and she still hasn't come. Now he's pissed off. And then she says, you know what? I was just about to come today and spend my own money to come to you. You getting angry at me like this made me feel really unsafe, and it's gonna take a while for me to trust you again. But the last one, scam number 20, is even more lethal than those two. And it's executed by these rich white men in suits. It's called banking. Why do you put your money in a bank? How do banks make money? Nobody knows. But the long story short of it is that the money that you believe is real and work hard for, banks print it. When banks lose all their money, when banks like First Republic lose billions, the government just gives them more money. That's why they make it so hard to buy crypto, because if people stopped using banks, they'd lose all their power. If you want to actually understand what I just said, go watch the Money Changers documentary. But if you just want to finesse it for yourself, all you need to know is that banks print money, so they actually love giving it out for free. If you can do the bare fucking minimum, make 6 months of on-time payments and you start with a 750 credit score. If you use some more advanced strategies like I show in the credit code on rjack.net, you could be in a Hellcat in 3 to 6 months. Literally, I did it with my Porsche. And if you know anything about business credit, you know that banks will loan you 10 times more money. They may loan you $50,000, but they'll loan a business $500,000. And if the business happens to fail, I'm not saying do this, I'm not saying run off and just say, oh, the business failed. Try and invest that $100,000 and flip it into 2. But if you wanted to run off, you could, and just take the $100,000. And that was just the business that failed. You're completely fine. What I'm saying is you don't have to scam. Just play this fucking financial system like they do. And you can use code IREAD on rjack.net to get the Art of the Lowball course.
Hey, chat, on some real shit, bro. Y'all don't gotta scam, bro. Y'all can just become YouTubers like me. But hey, if y'all gonna take the risk, sub up, my nigga. Hey, chat, Yachty, roll that out, Joe. Boo, 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 boo.
Still the same nigga from